Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of Grade 7 English, Unit 4. We'll be focusing specifically on nonfiction types and that absolutely crucial evidence discussion. By the time we wrap up, you're going to know exactly how to guide an evidence-based discussion and transfer these skills right into the real world as an elite text investigator. Let's get started.
So let's just get right into it. How do you actually prove you're right? Think about it. When you're arguing with a friend about the best movie of the year, or you're scrolling through something highly debatable online, whoever is loudest doesn't win. It's the person with the best evidence who actually wins. Today, we're going to learn how to move past just sharing our feelings and instead start building undeniable, fact-based arguments. Here's our agenda for today. We'll be covering the power of nonfiction, hunting for strong evidence, analyzing different perspectives, building your argument, the evidence-based discussion, and finally, real-world transfer practice. Section 1. The power of nonfiction, real-world reading.
It's actually kind of wild when you think about it, but the National Educational Framework shifts your reading focus over time. By the time you hit high school, a whopping 70% of student reading across the grade should be informational text. Why? Because most of the reading you're going to do in college and out in the workforce is informational in structure and pretty challenging in content. We start building that heavy foundation right here in 7th grade.
Section 2. Hunting for strong evidence, the detective's clues.
You know, as a critical reader, your job is to hunt down the hard clues. We call this citing textual evidence. Basically, it means using several pieces of specific information drawn directly from the text to support what it says explicitly and to prove your logical inferences. You aren't just guessing, you're gathering specific details straight from the source to build a rock-solid case based on what's right there on the page and the smart conclusions you draw from it.
But here's the real challenge. You might read an article and find a dozen different clues or facts. So what makes evidence actually relevant? Just because a fact happens to be true definitely doesn't mean it belongs in your argument. To filter those facts, we use 3 strict criteria. First up, sound reasoning. The logic has to make sense and connect directly to the claim. Second, relevant evidence. The facts must specifically address the topic being argued, not just something kind of sort of related. And third, sufficient evidence. There has to be enough proof to actually convince the reader. One flimsy fact just won't hold up in your essays. The standard literally says we need to cite several pieces of textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly as well as inferences drawn from the text. Notice that word, several. In earlier grades, you might have been asked to find just one detail. But 7th grade requires you to bring multiple pieces of proof to back up your analysis. You're building a comprehensive case here. Section 3. Analyzing different perspectives. Suspect profiles.
What happens when you have 2 authors writing about the exact same event? Author A might emphasize a very specific set of evidence to support their interpretation and make their side look great. But then, author B uses entirely different facts to advance a contrasting interpretation. Your job as an investigator is to interrogate those sources and spot exactly how authors manipulate evidence to shape their unique perspectives.
Section 4. Building your argument, presenting the case. Okay, now that you've gathered your clues, it's time to build your own argument. It's a literal step-by-step process. Step 1. Introduce your claim clearly. Step 2, and this is a huge upgrade for middle school, acknowledge alternate or opposing claims. Recognizing the other side makes you look so much more reasonable. And Step 3, support your claims with logical reasoning and relevant evidence. Drop that strong proof you just hunted down. Section 5. The evidence-based discussion, the detective's roundtable. Bringing all this into a collaborative discussion has some strict rules of engagement. First, you've got to come prepared having read the required material. Then follow agreed-upon rules for collegial discussions. You want to pose questions that elicit elaboration, respond to others with relevant observations, and absolutely acknowledge new information expressed by others. A really good discussion should actually shape and refine your thinking. There is a massive difference between an unprepared opinion, which is basically just sharing feelings without having read the text or having any proof, and a true collaborative discussion. An academic roundtable is about drawing on preparation, asking specific questions, and adapting to new evidence. It's not about who talks the loudest, it's about who elevates the conversation. Section 6. Real-world transfer practice, closing the case.
Why does this matter outside the classroom? Because these are real-life skills. About 33% of the time, you'll use these exact methods for reading and spotting misinformation online. Another 33% will be writing and advocating for causes you care about, because a cause without evidence is super easy to ignore. And the remaining 34% is speaking and winning debates in the real world.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Knowing that the loudest voice doesn't win, but the most prepared voice does, are you ready to investigate the texts, gather your hard evidence, and prove your case to the world? Next time you read, look past the surface, demand strong evidence, and uncover the truth. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy investigating.